this is Elaine Wu with the BERYL Consulting Group. Today, we're joined by Gina Martin Adams, the former Chief Investment Strategist at Bloomberg Intelligence and now being the Chief Market Strategist at HB Wealth. Welcome, Gina. Thank you so much for having us.
Sure thing. Thank you so much for having me.
Given the current macro situation, a number of the strategists note a split between the economy and the market regarding the Middle East. Why hasn't this conflict derailed stock yet? And what would you say is the breaking point for the investors?
Okay, great question. I think it is definitely top of mind for most of the clients and prospects that we talk to at our
Mhm.
firm. It's very interesting because in some ways it did break the market. We did see a 10% correction in stocks from peak to trough. We saw some pretty severe disruptions in March, but we've very rapidly erased those disruptions in the equity market while the economy is sort of muddling through. And I think that that creates a lot of confusion. But broadly, there are a couple of key differences between the markets and the economy that are important to keep in mind. The first is the market is 40% tech stocks. If you're following the S&P 500, 40% of the market cap of that index is tech and tech adjacent industries, which are experiencing an extraordinary recovery in earnings growth. In the first quarter, they're on track to post about 50% earnings growth relative to this time last year. So that's created a bit of optimism in the equity market that is really just has nothing to do with war in the Middle East and is really more about corporate earnings and this transition in AI that is underway as a tremendous driver of growth. On the other end of the spectrum, the economy has very little exposure to this in aggregate relative to the market. Tech and tech adjacent industries are only about 15% of economic growth. So I would say that's the biggest dispersion between the market and the economy is really it's about tech. And we are in the middle of an earnings season. The earnings season has been extraordinary for tech, and that's getting reflected in stock market prices right now.